Hello everyone, my name is Atom. I'm part of WunderTrading team, and today we have an interview with one of our partner who is the YouTube influencer. His channel name is TheCryptoKlein, and here he is. Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, great. And today we've prepared some questions for him, and we think that our people and basically community would be interested in those specific questions and topics. So we're gonna cover most of them, and I think when we'll be talking, we will have more of them in the process. So let's start with the first one, and it's gonna be: could you tell us a little bit about your background and how did you end up in crypto? And was there any specific moment that sparked kind of your interest?
So my journey with crypto started back in 2016, late 2016, early 2017. So I was right on time before the first bull run, 2017. If you guys were active at this time, you remember all of this like ICO phases. This was crazy
Yeah.
times. So how I learned about crypto is through my friend. We was, driving around the city and he asked me like, oh, do you know what's Bitcoin? What's crypto? I was like, no, I have no idea. And he told me, briefly, I think he gave me like a good introduction because what he told to me was, with crypto, you can buy basically something on a dark web, like the different stuff, So I
All
was
right.
like, okay, that's interesting, right? And then I went to my home and I started to watching YouTube videos. I started, watching some other materials online, Instagram posts, this and that. And I got quite interested by the whole idea about like crypto decentralization, and I was immediately like inspired and like interested in this. And basically since then I was all into crypto. So my first bull run 2017 was, quite easy back then because whatever you was buying, everything was going crazy, right? But
Yeah.
in the end, 2018 came like the bear market and everything, which was
Yeah.
like few hundred X's up, it went down, everything down. So that was my beginnings, and then since that I was active. I had like a small break around 2018, 2020 after my first, bear market. I think all of you guys were
Oh
doing
yeah.
similar things as well. But then I came back in 2021 actively, and 2022 I started my social media. I originally started with TikTok, sharing for my friends like how to start with crypto, how to buy, how to sell, move between exchanges, and since then it started. And I was never aware that my audience will grow that much. So since let's say 3 years, not 3 or like 2.5 years, I posting daily on my YouTube channel right now about crypto market, mostly about trading. So like market updates, what's going on, like on-chain data, charting data. So that's what I'm doing currently on YouTube as well.
Do you remember the price of the Bitcoin when you jumped in 2016?
Yeah, I remember. I think it was around like it was three-digit number for sure.
Oh,
Three,
three
three.
digit.
Yeah, I think it was something like 775 or six six
Oh,
five.
was
So
the Ethereum even a thing back then?
I don't remember actually. I think it was even like pre-ICO of Ethereum, if I'm correct. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember the exact date of the Ethereum ICO, but for sure, what was that the exchanges I was using back then, you guys for sure are not familiar with that, like Bittrex, Poloniex, BitMEX. I think one of the first. It was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
it was a long time before Bybit, OKX, the exchanges all of you are using. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the time what I remember. But Ethereum, I was not even. I'm not a big Ethereum fan. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it was
All right.
three-digit number for sure. It was crazy.
Yeah, BeatsMax is actually one of the oldest exchanges
Yeah,
out there, as far as I
true.
remember. I don't remember those that you mentioned, those two other exchanges. But yeah, BeatsMax is just different. Okay. And the other question would be, what do you think current crypto trends or narratives do you think are overhyped and which are being overlooked?
So still, I believe that the biggest narrative we have right now is meme coins, right? Like everyone is
All right.
crazy about meme coins.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of meme coins. I always, let's say, named myself as a Bitcoin maxi. So I always
Yeah.
tell people like just buy Bitcoin like 80% of your portfolio, and that's more than enough. And when we look at
Mm-hmm.
this cycle, it was basically the one of the best moves you can do because altcoins are bleeding. They start to move
Mm-hmm.
now a little bit, but what I think is the altcoin season when everyone is waiting for, we did have on memes. But still, like
Mm.
this is overhyped for sure because the hype is crazy. Everyone was talking. It's not anymore, in my opinion. But it was like pure rug pull, like 100% from the concept. It was like rug pull to just steal money from other people. There is zero like value in that, and even people are saying like that community-driven projects are the one which will have a nice future. But even if community is from the day one set to make a 5, 10, or 15x and then just dump the bags, like what's the problem? What's the
Yeah.
what's the value in here, right? So I still believe like meme coins are totally overhyped. I think
Mm-hmm.
by the end of this cycle they will be dead, and in the next cycle we will see just something new. Like each cycle we
Okay.
see exactly the same.
Do you hold any?
Meme coins?
Yeah.
No, no,
No,
no.
even Doji?
No, I trade Doji. I don't hold Doji.
I see. The next one would be, how do you see institutional involvement shaping the future of crypto trading?
That's actually a very good question because what we see right now in this cycle is we have a lot of institutions coming in, and also we can see that directly on the charts because, let's say, past cycles we had the retail which was moving. So
Mm-hmm.
even now we broke all-time high, $122,000-$3,000, right? But when you check the interest of crypto on Google Trends, it's still like super low. There is no interest in retail. So who is moving the price right now? It's all institutions like BlackRock, banks, each countries are stacking up their Bitcoins as well. So I think it's the very good sign for us also because it's giving us the verification check mark on a whole crypto
Yeah.
industry, right? Because if there is like a biggest institution in the world buying Bitcoins, that's great for us. So this is the one thing. But you asked specifically about trading, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's also tricky part because institutions like Wall Street, they are well known of, going for retail traders. So they are big retail traders as we are. We are small guys. So the thing is what we can do is we can, catch up on the moves of the big institutions. But I think it's also like very difficult to catch it because like institutions, they playing different games, because we as retail traders, we look for higher returns, right? We want to make 10, 15, 20% because we have smaller capital like 1k, 5k, 10k, 50k. But for them, they have hundreds of millions, even billions. So for them,
Mm-hmm.
moving, 0.5% on 1% is still 5, 10 times more than for us when we have even 100k capital. So this is
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
the numbers which people I see in my community as well. They are sometimes, misunderstanding that, and I think it's very important to have that in mind as well.
Okay. And just another question that just got in my mind is that how you think, is there any kind of company such as BlackRock who can really make a bad or good influence on Bitcoin? Let's imagine they have, let's say, 20k Bitcoins. Of course, they have more, but just as an example. And then they just hit the sell button. What do you think happens to the Bitcoin at this moment? If, for example, the price is 100k,
Yeah.
110k, what do you think?
When you check that from the technical side,
Mhm.
that might sound stupid what I will say, but technical side, it works very similar to meme coins actually, right? Because you
Yeah.
have open source, so there's like limited supply. So if
Yeah.
someone is holding most of the supply, they are in control basically. So
Yeah.
it's working exactly on same on meme coins. If you have limited supply and you have one big holder which holds like 80% of supply, they control the
Mhm.
price. So in
Yeah.
this case, we are dealing with, like similar concept in my opinion, but I'm not sure if we have that much influence at current stage of any of the institutions. That's maybe I need to make some more research on that, but I don't think there is any institution holding more than even 5% of supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest holders still is like Satoshi himself, which is holding around like 1 million bitcoins. So that's, I think, the one of the biggest wallets. But answering to your question, if the institution like that will want to come one day and hit the sell button, for sure there must be on the other side must be buyers. That's the first thing. So exchange will have a lot of liquidity, but the question is if they will have that enough liquidity to fulfill their orders. But for sure, if they will fulfill tens of thousands of Bitcoin, the price will drop. I think even today or yesterday there was this guy who sold like 14,000 Bitcoins, or I saw that news. I'm not sure if that's like verified news, but it was like 1 or 2 days ago. Have you seen that?
No, actually, how did it affect the price?
I saw the tweets and this information that after he sold, basically the price dropped from 122 to 118 we are right now. So
Okay.
but if that's
Not that
100%,
much, to be honest.
yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
I think the viewers here will ask if institutions like that goes to the exchange, they want to sell, if price will go to zero. I don't think so. I don't see any possibilities of that.
I don't too.
Even if it
If we're
drops
talking
like
about the
30%, it's still okay.
Okay, just personally for me, when Bitcoin drops for 5 or 10 or even 20%, for me it's a good thing because
Yeah,
I count it as a discount and I just buy more and more and accumulate my portfolio. Do you do the same?
exactly. So whenever I
Okay.
see minimum, for me, minimum 15%, when I see a 15% price drop on Bitcoin, I always buy some package.
And if we're talking about most of the traders right now, retail traders, do you think they consider this as a bad movement? So they start to panic and sell, for example? Or nowadays, people and traders, they are more like, I would say, adapted to this kind of situation on the market?
You mean after like 15, 20%
I mean,
drop in
like
price?
before it was like that. When Bitcoin dropped for 15, 20%, everybody started to sell and panic. And the traders who are patient, they start to using like dollar cost average strategy, for example, just to accumulate more and more Bitcoins. So they considered this kind of discounts, I would say, as a good thing, and they start to buy more. However, if we're talking about most of the traders out there, they are starting to gain more fear and they start to sell. So, if we're talking about all traders together, do you think that when Bitcoin is just dropping down in the price, do most of the people are selling their assets or they're trying to gain more to just have some profit in the
Got
future?
it, got it. I think it really understand based on the level of experience of the trader itself, because if we take on one side of beginners which just came to the market like this cycle, let's say in past 12 months, right?
Yeah.
If they will see this movements, they might be panicking. That's completely natural. I remember that for myself, I have the same feelings when I started. But on the other side, when you have more experienced people, as you said, they will try to go with the CA methods. They will just buy the dips and they will just understand. Like when we talk specifically on Bitcoin, right? Because let's focus on that. They will understand after some time that it's programmed. So each dip, it's after some time will be go up. So if you understand that earlier, it will be better for you, in my opinion. But for sure, the market is full of emotions. So if there is like a beginner traders and beginners in the market, for sure they might be, specifically right now, we are around all-time highs, yeah? So what's happening? For sure, you also are receiving messages from your friends, family, like, oh, Bitcoin hit all-time high. Should I buy now? I'm sure you received at least one of those messages.
Yeah, that's so true.
So those
Okay.
people, when they buy now and they see, so let's say they bought yesterday for 122,000 and today they see 118, so after one day they lost 7%. So for sure they
Yeah.
will be like, oh, what happened? Is this finish of Bitcoin?
Okay. And I think you mentioned before that you're mostly using only spot markets to buy Bitcoin basically and to trade, even to trade, right?
Spot? No, not really. I'm holding my Bitcoins on spot,
Yeah.
but on a daily basis, I do futures mostly.
Do
That's like
you
80%.
trade using leverages?
Yes.
Okay, okay. And what would you say would be the highest leverage that you think is decent? I mean, the most balanced, or I would say the safest?
That's tricky. That's tricky because from my knowledge, what I'm using, what I see at least from the beginners as well, there is like two ways to use leverage basically. So the first way, in the end, it works exactly the same, but it depends how you approach it. That's what I learned after some time. So let's say you have 100 USDT. You go to exchange and you open 5x. So your position will be 500 USDT. You open 10x, it will be 1K, right? But on the other side, when you have like a risk management in place, money management, and you are focusing on, you have some plan. Basically, what's the plan of your day, what you want to accomplish in the market. Then you know that basically the leverage, you can use 100x and you can use 5x. And in the end, it will work exactly the same because order size is based on your wallet amount. Yeah. And the only thing what leverage is doing is decreasing your margin used to open the trade. So if you manage that stuff properly, but it's like more advanced as well, the leverage really does not matter. So you can use 100x, you can use 50x. It will be exactly the same result. The only thing you will see is the P&L on the screen from the exchange because you will have 100x more basically percentage. But if you are starting out, I would say don't go over like 3 to 5x when you start and you want to understand like how is the market moving. And the other thing is it really depends on the pair because let's say Bitcoin has, let's say, average moves 1-2% a day, right? It's, let's say, maximum in past few weeks.
Yeah.
So to get liquidated on those moves, you need to move around 50x. You need to use 50x exchange, 50x leverage to get liquidated. But if you use same leverage on meme coins, for example, Fartcoin, which is moving like 7 to 8% a day, you are basically liquidated when you use 10x, So the leverage is tricky, but after some time when you start using it and experience, you start to understand that leverage does not really matter, but only when you protect your positions with the risk management. That's the important thing.
Yeah. All right. Another question I thought about is that do you actually prefer to use isolated or cross margin mode on the exchanges?
Always isolated, always. I got almost liquidated for 2 Bitcoins in past cycle for using cross. So since then, I'm never using cross
because
again.
actually what I thought is that actually most people are willing, are willing to use cross rather than the isolated. No.
Because
I think they are actually
each exchange, when you open the futures, it's automatically opening your account on cross. And people are not aware as well.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Let's move to the next one. And it's going to be about the blockchain. And if you had to bet on one blockchain ecosystem for the next 5 years, what ecosystem that would be?
That's difficult because from the utilization perspective, let's say the use case, I would BEP20. It's like blockchain, Binance Smart Chain or Binance Chain. I think it changed the name. BNB.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's Binance Smart Chain. So
yeah, that's correct.
That's one of my favorite, but also I would say Solana. So I can say the two of those. Why Solana? Because it's super easy to use. People are used to it because of the meme coins as well. That's other thing.
Yeah.
The wallets on Solana are like Phantom. They are crazy easy to use. There is no such a wallet like that which utilize on other blockchains, in my opinion. When I will need to choose like one, probably I will go with Solana. But if I can choose two, I would choose Solana and BNB.
Okay, because in the beginning of this year and the whole past year, I guess, the Solana was very hyped as an ecosystem just because basically everybody could create a coin and can create now a coin on this. And that's why many rug pulls happen there as well on decentralized exchanges, I guess. So I have kind of mixed feelings about this blockchain system, I would say. But yeah, it's good enough because it's open for everybody. But how do you have any advices if people are trading, if actually they're trading meme coins, how they can know if the project is legit, basically?
There is few ways how you can protect yourself in meme coins. So basically, as I told, like I'm not meme coin specialist anyways, but from my knowledge, you have like few tools which are, for example, I think it was like birdseye.co, I think one of the tools which I used in the past. Then you can just paste the contract address, and based on the contract address, it will automatically analyze if there is like a honeypot in the contract, if there is like a rug pull directly off, for example, if there is like a substantial holder which holds a lot of percentage of the supply, that's also dangerous. So based on that, you can already like filter out some of the projects which might be not interesting, and they have their own scale, and they are saying like, okay, this coin might be dangerous and this coin might be okay, so it basically goes from red to green. So I think that's one of the easiest way. But when you want to spend a time for researching all of those coins, you will have no life, because there is so many meme coins. I don't know. Maybe there is some tools which automatically scans all the pump fund tokens and projects automatically, and then just filters out for you. It would be great, but I never used that such of the tool.
Yeah, so just wanted to ask, so did you ever use DEXs, decentralized exchanges?
Yes, I used.
Yeah. Okay. What's basically better for you, decentralized or centralized exchanges?
I prefer still, because for me, the futures perspective, I still prefer centralized exchanges. I tried Hyperliquid, for example, as a DEX for futures. But I don't know. There is it's going quite smooth, but still there is not that smooth as other exchanges. But if you go just for like spot purchases, like swap, DEXs are great. And actually, sometimes you have even better prices, because there is like a lot of like arbitrage spread between CEX and DEXs. That's also great opportunity. You can do it as well. And you are completely non-KYC. You just have your wallet, your coins, you go to DEX, swap it, and that's it, easy. But also if you are moving higher numbers, I think the liquidity might be as well the issue with that.
Okay, thanks. And the next question would be, I think, kind of an advice for users. And that would be, how do you manage risk in such volatile market? Do you have any unconventional methods that you use?
For managing the risks?
Yeah, in the trading, I mean, not for spot buys, but yeah.
In my opinion and from my experience, there is like, let's say if you use like the simplest techniques and methods, it's better for you. So there is nothing unconventional.
Yeah.
But for sure, first thing which is to managing your risk is like never go all in. That's like number one priority. You should never go all in. If you have $1,000, if you have 10,000, 100,000, doesn't matter. Like you cannot build on all in strategy, nothing, because basically you're wiped out in one trade. So what I'm doing currently since few years, and like what I'm sticking to like very seriously, is to try to utilize maximum, let's say 1 to 3% per trade idea or per any move that I want to do in the market. So let's say if you have $10,000 and you are risking like $100. So if you have, I don't know, let's say meme coin buy. You purchase a meme coin and you do 2 to 3x on that meme coins. It's okay. You sell, so you risked 1% and you gained 3%, right? So you did the math correctly. And same way it works in trading. So the important thing is to manage it's called like risk reward. And the risk reward you need to keep in your trades as well. It doesn't matter if it's like futures, spot, or meme coins. It's spot, it's more difficult because you cannot make like 2-3x that easy. But if you keep track of your risk rewards, it will protect your capital. Because, for example, if you have a trading plan according to risk reward, for example, 3-1, right? So you risk $100 and you are winning $300, and you stick to that every single time. So basically, you only need 25% of profitable trades, which means out of 100 trades, you can lose 75 and win only 25. Which a lot of beginners will think like, okay, but he lost a lot of time. But because of your sticking to those risk reward, you are still breaking even. And that's, when I learned that concept back in the day, I was surprised, because you see everywhere all of this like trading signal groups, which are giving you 99% of success rate, right? And there are a lot of, I don't know anyone who used signal groups and make any money like long term. I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
Because they are sharing with you only the success rate, which can be high. But what if they are using risk reward? Let's say they risk $100 to make $10. There is no math behind it that they will make any money, because they lose 100 and they need to make 10 trades profitable to make
Hmm.
those money back. So this is the simplest concept in trading, and you can even utilize it in every concept, like memes. Spot maybe not less. I would say spot maybe use like 3 to 5% maximum, and then try to catch some, have any idea what you want from the trade basically. But from risk management, I think that's the easiest and most effective way, at least for me. There is nothing, there is no magic behind it. It's just
Yeah.
just pure math.
All right. But I think even me, when I started trading, but it was like 2018, I guess, when I first moved into the crypto, there was a lot of those kind of signal groups mostly they were in the Telegram. And yeah, the success rate was about 95, 96%. But the whole idea was, yeah, I actually tried that. And though there were some kind of, I would say the amount of winning trades were actually good. But the thing is that in general, there were bull market before the 2019, as I correctly remember. I would say that it doesn't matter which coin you have chosen because most of them were just rising in the price. So it
Yeah.
was kind of tough to lose on that market.
Those are the tricky parts, and also I think that might be also something interesting and valuable for the viewers which are new. Like, don't get caught by all of this like numbers, because all of these
Yeah.
numbers look great on a paper. Let's say, like
Hmm.
95% of success rate. As you said, like many coins moving up and everything is successful. But it's easy to make money when everything is rising like crazy. But then if
Yeah.
market change and shifted, it's not that easy actually. So it's very easy for new users to get fixed with all of this like nice looking numbers, but the reality behind it is always different, always different.
Okay, let's move to the next one. And what one piece of advice you would wish every new trader or investor would know before starting their new, let's say, hobby?
I think the most important thing is what I said already, like the risk management and managing your whole portfolio. It was like the click moment for me, for example, when I learned about that, and it started to change like a lot of things. But also what I would say is like to have realistic expectations. That's
Mm-hmm.
important, because what I see, a lot of people are coming in and they are like, okay, I want 1000x because meme coins are crazy. I was like,
Yeah.
this is not possible for you. Like, if you have zero experience, you just came here because you want to make quick money, better leave, watch some YouTube video because you like it, maybe crypto or something, but don't do
Yeah.
it. Better go to casino and play that 100 USDT on blackjack or something. At least you will have fun. That's what I say. But yeah, the risk management, controlling that, having that in mind, I think for traders it's very very interesting, because I remember when I started, I saw all of these patterns or the chart, like all of these indicator strategies, all of this, but there was never saying about like risk management. I learned that from my
Yeah.
friend who was trading a lot, and I was like, okay, but I never seen that concept before. So I think that's something, and that's also why I preach a lot in my YouTube content and also in my telegrams, that this is the really important thing. The everything
Hmm.
else, the strategy is one thing, the psychology behind it is also one thing, but to keeping the numbers in play, it's very important and very crucial for long-term success.
I was actually thinking about the another question that I wanted to ask is, are there specific dates or let's say days when you think that trading is less profitable, or are there any kind of days which you think that it's better to stay away in those days from trading basically?
Specifically on crypto, I would say what I was doing in the past was avoiding a lot of new news from US, specifically like CPI, PPI,
Yeah.
FOMC meetings. They were moving markets like pretty fast.
Hmm.
But since few months, and when we hit all-time high for 3 or 4 times already in the past few months, I really don't like trading in these days when we're breaking all-time high, you know? Because Bitcoin is breaking all-time high. Let's say on altcoins, they are always delayed, but sometimes, for example, when you see and you observe the market for a long time, you can go to its Watcher Guru website and you can see how many liquidations there are in the markets. So basically, every single time when we have the huge spike, like all-time highs, we have a lot of liquidations for, in this case, short players. So, also when you know that these events are always very high in liquidations, because there is people there, no one will have no one will be correct every single time. So for example, in this case, all-time highs, you can say, okay, Bitcoin will break all-time high, but on the other hand, 50% of the people will say, okay, Bitcoin will correct. So these events in these specific situations for me from last few months are to avoid the high liquidation events, which we see a lot, because if you are not liquidated in a super high liquidated event, like yesterday, for example, you are good to go. You avoided liquidations, you didn't make any money, right? But still you are in the same position with your portfolio. But it's also positive for you because you didn't lose any money. And then you wait a few days, market is, calming down, and then you can start. So I would say avoid like high liquidations. And when you even see, it's very easy to track. You go to the website I mentioned, and I think the other one I like is coinglass.com. You can go, there's like a chart of liquidations. And if you start to seeing like increasing liquidation in the market, just leave for a few hours or a few days and come back when it's, calm down.
All right. Thanks. Okay, beautiful. And I thought, what do you think about the technical analysis in general? Does it work? What do you think?
Yeah, it works. It works. It's also important to see that technically you can make a strategy from everything. You can use trend lines, you can use indicators as well. I know traders who are using only indicators and they are pretty successful. But let's say the strategy is like one part of the whole of the whole. So the strategy is one thing. The biggest thing I would say before is risk management. So you can have idea based on trend lines. So let's say Bitcoin or other altcoin hit a trend line, and your idea is to trade break of those trend line, right? So you play the counter position. Okay, you played out, but then what if you are risking 0.5%? Like you are risking 1% to win 0.5%. It doesn't make any sense. When you will fix that amount and you will risk 1% to make 2% on the same exact strategy, on the same amount of position sizing, you will see much better returns, right? So based on the technical analysis, really, like after like 6 years already, I can say that most of the concepts you see online as well, they are all the same. So let's say you can have a supply or demand, right? But other players, they will call it, I don't know, imbalances in the market. The trend, some people like to use trend lines, some people like to use the boxes on the chart. But in the end, it's very similar thing on the chart, but everyone names it differently. So you need to find something which works for you, test it, back test it, and then after some time, give it a time, test it out. If it works for you, it works for you. That's great. But technical analysis overall, I would say in the short way, it works for sure.
Okay. Is there any specific strategy that you prefer, such as DCA, grid trading, or any like similar to this?
DCA, yes, a lot. You mean from the bot's perspective, for example?
Yeah, maybe from the boss perspective too.
So from bot's perspective, what I experienced as well is like I prefer more DCA bots than the grid bots, I would say.
Yeah.
Because from my experience, even if the market is falling, let's say you have the worst case entry, you open a grid bot on the top of the market, it went down, so you are technically collecting all of the orders below you, but for them to make profit all of the orders, the price must go above your entry level.
Yeah.
On a DCA, on the other side, you are, averaging the order, and the entry is also going down. So from my perspective, maybe you can say more about this. The bots are pretty similar, but it's also a bit different when how is the position calculated, and then like your entry is going down. That's what I experienced. So DCA bots are helping a lot. Sometimes I set up the bots on trade pairs like Dogecoin, Pepe, Fartcoin, because they have big movements in the market. So even during
Mm-hmm.
the day, if you can catch like few waves of 4% and then just close it in a few percent of profit, it's always good because you can automate it completely.
Yeah, I would say that DCA bots are the best in terms of risk reward because they're, well, I would say the safest bots basically.
DCA, yeah?
And yeah, DCA bots are the most that the people are making the most of those bots. Grid bots are great as well, but there are different kind of strategies in the grid bot, such as hedge grid bot, long grid bot, short grid bot, and even on our platform we have such feature which is called pump protection, which works like this. When the price drops, basically, as you mentioned, you will collect all those orders on those grid levels. But we have a feature which allows you to skip those levels and bot will not make entries because the algorithm works like this. When the price is going strictly down, the bot will not make any entries. But if you will cross those levels from the bottom, then it will start to gain those entries and positions. So this is the simple logic, but it helps to just
I
not
always I,
accumulate.
I always
Yeah.
keep it enabled on my settings, but I didn't experience it so far in the live situation.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, it's basically helps you to avoid those unfortunate situations. Okay, and let's move to the next one, to the next questions, and this is a good one. Have you ever changed your mind on a coin or a project because of community feedback or the dates you missed? You did know anything, something about the project, and then you somewhere got this info, and you thought, "Oh, damn, this project is pretty good," or backwards,
Pretty
this
bad,
project is
yeah.
not great.
I don't remember any situation like this, to be honest. But maybe
So, like
because
you mentioned, for example, you mentioned that you do not trade or trust meme coins, but we have lots of different meme coins which are placed on top 10 or even top 20 crypto coins in terms of the volume, trading volume. So people are actually they actually like trading meme coins and they believe in those projects, even though those projects do not have any
value.
usage.
I would say I want to also add up on your question that you said that people like trading meme coins. I
Yeah.
like trading meme coins as well, but properly like on futures, not like buying meme
Hmm.
coins and selling them. So as I mentioned, like Doge, Pepe, Fartcoin are like one of my three favorites because they have nice moves. There might be like case before, maybe you remember there was like a lot of hype around like meme coin projects. It was water, tea, beer, something like that. Are you familiar with that or not really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but that there was some time like around like a year ago. There was like very popular.
Mhm.
So the hype is crazy. Everyone is buying pre-sales, this and that, and then the website are completely clones, like one to one. So the first
Yeah.
project rug pulled. I remember second project, someone sent me information. Oh, we can make a pre-sale about this project. Do you want to participate with your community? And I asked few of my friends like who are basically the people behind, and I got some information that there was same people which was participating
Mhm.
in one of those three, and there was like one group around those people. And then I said like I don't want to participate in that because the other one was I participated in the first one, my community
Mhm.
participated with me, but then I said like okay, it's enough. I don't want to touch it because I got the information which I didn't have before. So maybe that's the answer to the question. But other than that, I didn't have any other situations like that because when you are looking for a project or something like that, you go to Twitter, you scroll through the post, you check what influencers are posting that. Maybe an indication will be, for example, if there is like any specific influencer on Twitter who is well known for dumping their bags on their followers, which I know there are people like that. I don't know anyone personally, and I don't know any specific person like that. But if this influencer is posting project like that, maybe that's a red flag as well. For example, that's coming to my mind.
Actually, the funny thing is that my next question would be about the sponsorship or partnership that didn't align with your values. Or so basically, the question sounded like, have you ever turned down a sponsorship or partnership because it didn't align with your values? So I think your story just answers this question,
Yeah,
actually.
a lot of time. I'm receiving every single day a lot of requests for such a like
Yeah.
meme coins race, etc. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times.
Okay, and let's imagine if crypto didn't exist, what would you be doing today?
Oh my God. I think I will continue what I did before as well. So before I started crypto, or let's say in the same time, I was doing as well an e-commerce business. I was selling online like Amazon, in Europe because I'm from Poland originally. So all of
Yeah.
these e-commerce marketplaces, I was selling multiple things. So I think I would follow that, or I would go into real estate, I would say.
Mm.
Maybe buying and reselling, like refurnishing, like flips, or creating my own social media around and trying to get some investors and build it together with them. That's coming to my mind right now.
What's the most surprising DM you have ever received from a follower or a project?
From one of my followers and one of my community members, I received last year. It was around like April, March. He sent me a screenshot of his wallet where he raised like 1 million our currency, which is around $250,000.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the best messages I received
Mm-hmm.
from the follower. The other one from the projects. From the project, all of these messages are all almost the same. Like, oh, we are doing
Yeah.
this and that. Do you want to participate? So it's almost the same. There is nothing like very unique. I would say the best message I received so far was from this guy who sent me his Bybit account with 1 million Polish zloty, which was crazy for me,
No.
because I remember he was starting out as well with my YouTube channel as well. So that was nice. Is there any other things like that? Sometimes I'm receiving messages that people are buying, some cars or some motorcycle. Like yesterday, someone sent to my group that they purchased like a motorcycle because of
Mm-hmm.
the coin I showed them to trade with we are trading now the fart coin. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's like I think top 7 or top 8 meme coin right now in the market.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite pairs currently. And all my Telegram community, they trading the same coin. And he said that he purchased not all, but let's say like 50% or 60%. It comes from his like fart coin trades. So
Mm-hmm.
this is most of, let's say, the building messages I get from the community members specifically. If they are winning because of my content or my knowledge which I share with them, that's the best message I can get from them, to be honest.
Okay, got it. Just curious about the automation in your trading experience. What kind of automation do you usually use? For example, with WunderTrading, what kind of tool or bot do you usually use for your daily trading?
Yeah, so I tried all of the bots from the top to the bottom. I saw there's like a DCA, right? DCA grid bot.
Yeah.
There was this like AI bot before. I think it has a new name now.
Yeah. Basically, we have AI Grid bot. This
Yeah.
is right now is the only AI bot, and we have just recently launched a new market neutral bot.
Yeah, so
This
this
is
one I
yeah,
didn't try yet. Ah, and also the Pine script automation, which is
yeah, the
super
signal
nice.
bot. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Signal bot, exactly. So I would say Signal bot is still my favorite because if you can automate with the Pine script some kind of trading strategy, which we did in the past as well, it can directly send the trades to your exchange, execute everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's working crazy. And from the bots, I think I already told that DCA bots will be my second
Yeah.
best. I don't know. I think I didn't have enough luck, or maybe the grid bots are not built for me, but that's okay. Maybe I need to learn more about that as well. Maybe that's the case. But for sure, signal bots, you can basically connect what I did. We use some indicators, for example. You can use some products which, let's say, they just give you some dips. For example, there are many
Yeah.
indicators, they can protect you, they analyze many things, and they give you the potential bottom. So if you make an alert on TradingView and you make that bottom with the alert sent to WunderTrading, and WunderTrading sent that alert to the exchange, you can automatically 24/7 take that alert of that bot. And this is like one of the strategies we are using as well with the WunderTrading platform. So
Yeah.
for me, that works basically, that works the best. And you can
Okay.
connect few exchanges, for example, from I think that's right, you can connect like from one signal to exchanges, or you need to make separate.
Exactly. So like if you were talking about the signal bot,
Yeah,
then you can connect up to 50 APIs, but they have to be from the same exchange. Yeah. So if you want to create, for example, an automation for two different exchanges, but you want to trade using the same strategy,
you just need to
then you
make
would,
two.
yeah, you will need to make
Yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
these two are, yeah.
yeah, I would just wanted to let you know that actually we've just recently launched an option to automate grid bots using webhook alerts. So basically, what I mean is that, for example, you have an indicator, and your indicator says that, for example, Ethereum will be in a sideways market for a certain amount of time, and you can automate to launch the grid bot using the trading view and stop it as well. Just maybe it will be interesting for you in the near future.
Yeah, so it can launch, let's say, in the great moment of the market, not
Yeah,
launch
yeah.
in the top or.
Yeah, so it works basically like this. So you will have to create the grid bot in advance. You will need to set all those parameters. Let's say you have created a grid levels, which will consist, let's say, of 50 levels. And then your indicator says that Bitcoin is now in a bull run, and you can just automate from TradingView that when your indicator says that it will cause to trigger a comment, and this comment will be sent basically to WunderTrading, and the bot will be launched. And what you can actually do is you can set up, let's say, 3 different grid bots on the same coin, and you can set for them different grid range. Let's say one bot will be working from 95 to 105k on the Bitcoin. The second will be working from 105k to 115, and so on. And then you can set up this kind of grid within the grid bots and launch using your indicator. If the price is, let's say, 95k, then you launch the first bot. When the price reaches the 105k, you launch the second bot, and you can
Nice.
play with them like this. Yeah, because like as we talked before, as you mentioned, that Bitcoin usually hits the all-time high and then goes down for correction for some time, and just Gridbot is a good thing to catch this movement. But speaking generally, yeah, DCA is much more reliable in terms of long-term trading, and it's
Yeah.
just much more safe, especially for newbie traders, because Gridbot is pretty risky.
I will just give this, maybe it will be interesting, like for just to compare like the specific situation. Like 3 weeks ago, there was news about, war between Iran and
Yeah.
Israel. So Bitcoin dumped to 97 or 105, something like that. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
So I had a running grid bots at that time, but my entry, I remember it was Bitcoin and Fartcoin. So basically, I set up it quite wide, the settings of my grid bot. So on Bitcoin, it was until 90k, and on Fartcoin, it was around like 0.8 something.
Yeah.
So because of I used grid bots, all of this time I was basically under the water. So price dropped down, it collected all of the grids. So from the
Mm.
bottom, when it started recovering, it was making tiny profits, right? But then I
Mhm.
needed to wait like 20 days basically to recover to the place where I entered those grid bots. When I will
Yeah.
use the DCA bots in the same case, I will collect all of the moves down, and the price will be averaged in the middle, more or less, right? So instead of doing and I think the profit will be much higher in the DCA bots as well, because right, it's like that, it's collecting all of the, let's say, the levels. That's what I think. I'm not sure
I would
about
say
that.
that the risk in the grid bot is much higher, but the return will be more in compare with the
DCA.
DCA bot. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, but the thing is that grid bots basically they like sideways market. They
Yes,
don't like.
yes. So in this case, basically, what I would gain using DCA instead of like grids, I would, let's say, avoid waiting 20 days to take my profits,
Yeah.
but I will do it in like maybe 5 to 10 days maximum. So I would cut the time in half and probably receive similar or even better results.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
That's actually true.
that's like the last example I did have like a few weeks ago.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming today for the interview. I think that our users will be interested to watch the whole interview, and your answers for the questions were pretty interesting. And a lot of much more questions were coming to my mind when he was answering my questions, and I thought that I wanted to know a little bit more than I have prepared. So thank you so much for coming today, and I hope we will make an interview in the future again. And it was nice to meet you,
100%.
basically.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And yeah, we can always make another round.
Yeah, sure. So thank you again, and enjoy your day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah.